Should we legalize marijuana? A loud yes today from one of our most prestigious institutions that helps people with mental health and addiction issues. Live to Shauna Hunt with why CAMH is pushing so hard to regulate pot. Shauna.
Well, hey, Gordon, we are live here at Yonge Dundas Square. Now, this has been the site of many massive pro-pot rallies over the years. I know CAMH estimates that 40% of Canadians smoked a joint in the last year alone and says the best way to keep users safe is to legalize pot and control the distribution.
It's not taboo at all. Like I find growing up in Toronto, I think it was just everywhere, right?
The Centre for Addiction and Mental Health is now joining the chorus to legalize cannabis, calling it a tactic in the war on drugs.
I think the greatest danger overall is there's no control who gets it. There's no control over the potency.
CAMH says smoking pot can be harmful to your health, especially on adolescent brains that are still developing. But Dr. Jürgen Rehm, who is part of the research team, believes regulating pot with tight reins, such as an age restriction, will make it harder for teens to get their hands on it.
A huge percentage of our current youth is in contact with drug dealers. If pot is legal, this would fall away.
High schoolers who want to buy pot, if they're not legal to buy it, they're not legal age, they would still go to a drug dealer on the street to buy the pot.
I doubt that. It is probably much easier for them to go with older friends and other people.
According to CAMH, the sale of weed would be controlled by the government just like alcohol at the LCBO, but there would be no flashy commercials or advertising like this, and the packaging would be very plain. Unlike the cannabis craze that took over Colorado last year, days after weed was legalized in that state, billboards went up and pot shops began battling for business. Today, Police Chief Bill Blair said his mind is open to all possibilities.
I think the recognition in that document that we still have to consider regulation in order to keep that drug out of the hands of children, and to make sure that organized crime does not profit from its trafficking are very important discussions.
On city streets, where it's not uncommon to get a whiff of the green stuff, some are dubious of the new endorsement.
You can be intoxicated on marijuana just like you could be on alcohol, and how do we control like who's driving on it and that?
At this downtown vapor bar that operates on the edge of marijuana laws, habitual smokers like Dave welcome the support.
I think it's a big sign of the times for sure. I think the writing's on the wall that legalization is imminent now. If an organization like CAMH is behind it. Look, whether you like weed or whether you're against it, people are going to be smoking it anyway. And as long as they are, why not tax it? Why not regulate it? Why not make it safer and then make some tax money off it as well?
All right, so if we do end up legalizing pot here in the country, CAMH says that there would have to be some sort of education blitz letting people know the dangers of marijuana use. The institution is also hoping that this will spark a more serious conversation with the federal government. If you'd like to see a list of all the countries that have legalized pot, head to citynews.ca. Live at Yonge Dundas Square, I'm Shauna Hunt. Gord, I'll throw it back to you.